Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently at war fighting these guys still. It's not much of a war at this point. We've already defeated them down over here. Did we colonize Firmathrios? I think we did. Yes. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. Looks good. And we're currently working towards getting our fleets replenished. Now, we took a bunch of damage down here when we fought this, and almost all of that damage was in our frigates. We decided to retire our frigates and replace them, of course, with the Firm-class corvettes that are filling the same role as the frigates, but have much, much higher evasion and are broadly similarly priced. They should be more durable, unless they get hit. If they get hit, it won't be it won't be pretty. I would not want to be aboard one of these if it gets hit. But its primary goal here is to swarm and fire its plasma cannons. That's the idea. So we, of course, require a large amount of dark matter to make that happen. How much in total? Well, we see here it's 457. It might not truly be that amount, because this might not be including some of the larger ships, but it's going to be a decent amount of it. At this point, what is the price? I know I just sold the dark matter, and yeah, the price isn't great. We'll wait for that to come down a bit. Our gateway has been constructed in the sheet system, engaged. And that's absolutely great. Oh boy, we've got that going on. Okay. It happens like that sometimes. Now, the Forfeit Starfleet showed back up in Tirsonia. They are going to get absolutely massacred here. This is going to be a problem. Let's let this fight happen. Okay, this is very laggy. We have a lot of ships here. Let's hop out here where it's less laggy, and we'll keep an eye on it this way. Beautiful. So, they're getting absolutely demolished, right? We expected that. This situation here is unacceptable to me. Unfortunately, in order to get this to go away, the only way I know of is to restart the game. So I'll be right back. Okay, here we are with the game restarted, and that's no longer appearing. Fantastic. Of course, the fleet has already been destroyed here. We're on the same day we were previously, before the restart. But let me bump us back up to fastest speed. Excellent. And from here, the question now becomes, we still only have 12 dark matter? Did it load the wrong save? Or did we not make it a full month? We may not have made it a full month. It was pretty quick.
Enterprise upsizing.
Sure, this is fine for now. So let's hit this reinforced fleet button. We now see that we need 600 dark matter. Let's reinforce that, and we'll keep an eye on the price of dark matter. It has dropped, I think, a little bit. Actually, it's going up. Okay, so it's below minimum price right now. How much would it cost to buy 500? It would cost about 20,000 energy credits. We might be able to make that happen. It'll be a little painful. I don't want to sell food here with us being negative on our food. Everything else we can sell some of, and that would give us enough to buy 500 dark matter, which would be enough to probably have us be limited by alloys instead of dark matter, which I think is a really, really good situation to be in, considering we're making over 1,000 alloys a month now. So yeah, now we're alloy limited. That ate up about half of that dark matter. So that should buy us time to passively regenerate the rest of our dark matter. That sounds good. So how are we doing in here with these bombardments? I know it's very laggy in here. Oh, it's so laggy. We got to get out of here, but I need to take a look at how we're doing here. 2773 and 3129. Okay, that still needs some time. We're at 18 influence right now. I would like to get some additional influence going here. We know that claiming this out here doesn't appear to give us that because we don't have it occupied. And I don't think there's a way to flip it over in Stellaris. So all we need to do here is claim Epsilon Cygni, which is 113 influence away. So we're not in any rush, right? We'll continue to hit the reinforced fleet button. That was saying 22,000. I don't think that's accurate. No, that would be about accurate, wouldn't it? We needed like 60,000. And we had like 37,000.
Competitors engaged.
Yeah, that would be accurate.
Colonial enterprise upsizing.
Fascinating. So that's going to be done pretty quickly. Look at all of these additional fleets coming in here. Yeah. Our fleets are going to get a lot more powerful as well over time as we get this switched over. So that is absolutely great. I kind of feel like frigates suck, to be honest. That's what I'm leaning towards right now. Now, I'm going to get rid of, I think, this construction ship. We'll keep 2 around. This one, yes, Tiamat. We need to get that upgrading. This construction ship was intended to build this gateway site, which is already being done. So what do we need this construction ship to do now? I would be making the argument for orbital rings, except we need our influence for the moment. So with that in mind, do we go for something like an interstellar assembly site? Are we already working on a couple of these? We've got the Strategic Coordination Center here, this Sentry Array site, but the Strategic Coordination Center needs a bunch of alloys. We are currently alloy limited on our fleet regeneration. Alloys are cheap right now. I don't want to sell too many of these because we probably need some of them. But we could do something like that and then buy in 2,500 alloys. These alloys really should go into the Strategic Coordination Center hull. 100% this is where these should go if we don't have any other issues brewing up here. We need, okay, 37,000? That's a bit more like what I expected, I guess. No, it was 79,000, not 60,000. That's right. That's right. Okay, that would explain it. Cool. We do need additional food generation. There's no doubt about that. So, we need to work on an agro world here. We do not currently have any available jobs. Okay. Our Sentry Array site just finished up as well. So we currently need about 25,000 alloys to get all of this underway. I don't believe, since we're in this federation, that our fleets are actually more important. So I think that getting the Sentry Hub and the Strategic Coordination Center hull, I think that those are a very, very big deal at this moment. We probably do want to get those underway as soon as possible. Wow, look how cheap alloys are now. Okay, somebody else bought some. I don't blame them at that price. We didn't quite have enough to get some of our own there. But that's very insane. That price being below 1 energy credit per alloy, that's absolutely nuts.
Enterprise upsizing.
Next Federation level has been unlocked. New Federation perks are now active. So we have trade value plus 5%, that's valuable. Ship speed increased by 10% while in Federation space, and an available envoy. Cool. So we're going to continue to work up our Federation levels. Eventually we're going to look to take over this Federation. Currently, the succession type is on rotation. Okay. We're probably going to have this be a challenge eventually. But for the time being, that's going to be a little bit difficult to do, of course. So that's fine. We're definitely okay with getting the trade value. Construction is concluded on the new gateway in the Thames system. Beautiful. We definitely are happy about that. And we're working on this Starhold in Tiamat as well. So I think that we get the... I really want it to be the Strategic Coordination Center hub. We're negative on our Unity. Okay, now it went back positive, but it's only barely. So that is a bit of a concern there on our Unity. So something like this world here would be, I think, a good option to also be a unification center. We'll put that in here, and then we'll put in like an admin office. We can't put in the Vault of Acquisitions just yet, but the admin office does make sense to put in here. Cool. So that's all looking good. As far as this out over here goes, has anybody launched an attack yet? Oh, it's so laggy in this system, but that's because look at this amount of ships that is here. It's more than poor Stellaris can handle. Exciting. So for the core, I want to take a look at the armies. 2557 and 2059 on boundary. We could make the argument that we can land on boundary. We're not going to. We're going to let that continue to drop for a bit. I want to get enough influence to claim Epsilon Cygni before the end here. So the longer it takes to land there, the better. We need 47? So that's only like 6 months out, right? Yeah, that's 6 months out. Cool. I think that's perfect. Absolutely ideal there. Any other job work needing to be done here? The answer is no. Which is a bit unfortunate given our food situation here. We could probably think about a food edict, a farming subsidy edict. It is expensive. What would dropping mining subsidies look like? We would have to wait until the month tick to find out. I'm not sure. That's going to be pretty major. We'd be at like minus 700, I think. Yeah, I think that that's not a viable option. What might be a viable option, though... Viscaran's Maw, right. This was meant to be gun torpedo hangar, gun torpedo hangar. This is not going to be too expensive to fill all this out, so let's just go ahead and do that. We're going to do a communications jammer, a disruption field generator, a defense grid supercomputer, and a target uplink computer. Not necessarily in that order. Okay. So we'll do something like that. An ancient shield overcharger would be very interesting to do later. We might change something to that later on. We'll see. But what I wanted to do is check through these anchorages and see we're already running hydroponics bays on most of these. And in these trade hubs as well. Okay. I wanted to check to see if there were any slots available there, but there are not. So that's fine for now. What else do we have? We don't have any available pops to put to work. So for the moment, that's not a thing. And we need an additional 31 to claim Epsilon Cygni. Okay. That is getting very, very close.
Competitors engaged.
That was probably just an army that popped out and got instantly obliterated, is my guess. I believe that they've been eliminated from the game at this point. Is anyone actually invading? Let's see. Boundary is at 1193. That's dropping fast. 2438. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of ships here. No doubt about that. There's a whole lot of ships. Army damage comes up. We're on full auto research at this point, but honestly, we're going to go for transgenic crops instead if we can. Apparently we can't. Okay, I guess we can't. That's interesting. I thought that we could do that. Okay, now we can. Whatever. The transgenic crops will, of course, help our food, so that's absolutely great. At this moment, we're how far away from claiming this? 2 month ticks. We're exactly 2 month ticks away from claiming Epsilon Cygni and being interested in exiting this war. Okay, looks good. So we're going to wait for those 2 month ticks and hope that they don't end the war between now and then, but judging by these numbers, I don't think they quite will. The Ybrac Blessed Mandate rivaled us. Hilarious. We may want to rival them back for the influence, to be honest. They are overwhelming. I think we'll hold off on that. Especially when we've got situations like Tiamat here that is very not good to go. And then there's Vardavar, but that connects up over here, which should be fine. They're in our Federation. I'm not too concerned about that. It should be completely okay. The Strategic Coordination Center is ready to go on the next month tick. So we'll get that going immediately. Right about
engaged.
now. Beautiful. Okay, and can we get this claim now? Yes, we can. We make that claim. Fantastic. Now we're going to hop into the lag zone. And we will begin to land on boundary. They barely have anything left there. Looks good. And in we go. Our fleets, we should, if we can select them, move over to the core. This is so laggy in here. This is definitely the lag zone. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to land here and eliminate these guys incredibly easily. Okay, let's get out of the lag zone here. Really? You guys have no orders? You were ordered to land on boundary. Get in there. Okay. Now they're actually trying to go in. Cool.
Attempting to acquire planetary market.
Now they've landed, and we can select here to see it without entering the lag zone. And yeah, this should be no problem whatsoever. We even got a good disengage there. I like it. Are their morale fully broken at this point? 25%.
Upscaling
Wow,
complete.
they just straight up disengaged both of them? Okay. Happily. We'll happily take that. Beautiful. That went really well. We didn't even lose a unit. I mean,
Planetary
they only had 2
market
armies.
secured.
But even so, that's great. Now, there's only one location left here, and the question is, what is that at? They've already invaded. That's kind of bold, actually. I feel like they lose that. They're going to do a bunch of damage, and then we can re-bombard and invade ourselves.
Blocker liquidated.
Minimal Federation centralization to low Federation centralization. Okay. If we were the Federation leader, we would be in favor of this. Actually, it's not a problem. The fleet contribution going up, we would probably also be in favor of. Yeah, we vote yes on this, actually. Seems good. Cool. Anything that makes the Federation more powerful is actually in our interests, because we're relying on the Federation for defense here. So that sounds good. At least until we manage to take over the Federation, which will probably happen eventually. We kind of have to wait to become the Federation leader to do that, though. So that'll be fine for now. They're definitely losing this invasion. I'm not sure what the plan was. Were they expecting us to join? Maybe. I mean, after they soften them up, we'll definitely join. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, they lose this. Unless they have other reinforcements on the way in. Which is theoretically possible. I don't think they do, though. I mean, these guys are all the way back over here. So I feel like they don't. Yeah, they just straight up lose this. Like, it's super over for them. Cool. Good job. To be clear, if we had joined in, we probably would have won. But it would risk our troops more than it has to. Oh, this is very painful to watch. But it's fine. It is fine. We're being greedy here, to be clear. We're being incredibly greedy. And in reality, this would make our Federation very, very upset. If we just left this giant army out to dry like this, and then swooped in afterwards, deliberately waiting for them to soften up the opponent, yeah, this would not go over well diplomatically. There's no doubt about that. Let's select our army. And we're going to go in basically immediately now. It's bombarding here, but this is actually recovering somewhat because we're only actually injuring this guy, it looks like. Okay, so we definitely want to come in as soon as possible.
Commencing seizure of
And here we go.
planetary asset.
Cool. We should win this relatively easily. They have a lot of units still on low morale from the previous attack. That said, they're doing a lot of damage to our clone armies. There's no doubt about that. But they have very few reserves. This should go absolutely fine. We'll lose a few armies, most likely. But they only have one reserve remaining. I'm not sure why our allies didn't retreat, to be honest. It was pretty obvious that they were going to lose that. Maybe they had faith in us showing up, in which case they shouldn't have faith in that. They absolutely should not have had faith in that. So we're below the combat width at this point, looking good. This war is going to be over super, super soon. What are we damaging right now? This arm, or actually our damage is kind of spread out over a bunch of different things. The low morale is definitely going to be helpful for us. So lowering all of their morale is good. But this is a bit of a painful process here. No doubt about that, but it's fine. We knew it likely would be.
Research actualized.
What research was that? Focusing arrays? Okay, sure. Cool. Now we're hitting their disengaged line, and I really don't like it when that happens. I would massively prefer to hit the front line, because the disengaged has 85% damage reduction. Like, this army here, we should be hitting and taking their morale down. Same with this one. Anything with low morale doesn't do anywhere near as much damage and should be ignored until the higher morale stuff is dealt with. Unfortunately, we can't control this in any way. I don't know if there even is any control to it, any method. It might just be random. Hard to say. Regardless, it's completely fine. We've got this under control. And our allies actually showed up. Hilarious. Are we going to start fielding them instead of our troops? That would be amazing. I kind of doubt it, though. That would be really funny. I would love that. Sadly, I really don't think that's going to be a thing. So we can see that the morale here is dropped down to 25% damage reduction. And it's about to go down to 75%. There we go. That morale is broken. And then this one is broken as well. So they do basically no damage from here. Beautiful. And this war should be super over from here.
Planetary market secured.
There we go. They're fully occupied. They have no fleet. So that should be it. We're going to take these guys for now back to Edamar. And the reason I'm putting them at Edamar is because we here have the... Oh, I think this is the end of the war. Indeed it is. Okay. Yes, we won that war. We'll get to that in a moment. The reason I'm sending them back here is because of the crew quarters for the docked ship upkeep reduction. Okay, we've got a couple of shielded worlds.
Situation log
and we're going to lower those shields. And the Imutharan vestige is gone. Oh, we did actually get all of this. Cool. There's a barren world over here that we can terraform. We don't quite have the energy credits to do it, but we can definitely get them. 15,000. Oh, wow. Okay, that's more expensive than I thought it was. Okay, let's sell off a few volatile motes, and that'll get us what we need. So that's now getting terraformed. So we got everything here except Rosselhog, but that is also going to our Federation, so I'm not too concerned about this. We do need to get a science ship out over this way to survey. And we'll need to get a construction ship in there relatively soon as well. So we're going to bring a construction ship out over this direction. Our other science ship is going to start working on these shielded worlds. And then we can probably have this guy come out over this direction. There we go. Now we have too many star bases here. Awkward star bases are awkward here. I'm going to get rid of the one on Epsilon Cygni, I think. The one in Ophong can be our primary defensive platform here. We're going to downgrade this one. Tiersonia is not necessary. Akramalo is unnecessary. Tyrnar is unnecessary. So we'll get rid of all of those. That puts us at 23 out of 23. Perfect. These are Fallen Empire colonies. Okay. These are going to need some work. There's no doubt about that. So we currently have one open job here in Imutharan. This world just has a sky dome and a bunch of city districts. Awkward. We can put in 4 agriculture districts. Are any of these a good agriculture world? Actually, this one isn't bad. We can repair the Sky Dome. We can put in a corporate culture site. We can put in a food processing facility, a gene clinic, and then fill this out with agriculture districts, making this into an agriculture world. This is just kind of an awkward world, as is this one. Okay. For the moment, I think we should probably clear tile blockers and get these upgrades going. Some of these worlds are filled up, and some of them are not. We can repair these that are filled up. That should be reasonably fine. And these nourishment centers might actually get us positive financially. Or not financially, but with food. We'll see what happens with that. We do need to clear off these tile blockers eventually. And then on this world, I think we'll designate this one a... No, don't automate it. We'll designate this one a generator world. And we will put in an energy grid, a corporate culture site, and a gene clinic. We'll also put in, eventually... Where are we? Wait, we can build class 4 singularities at this point? Requires schematics acquired from arcane deciphering. Okay, noted. That's interesting. We'll take a look at how we do that eventually, I'm sure, if I remember. For now, we need a posthumous employment center here, and we can do the same sort of thing over here, a posthumous employment center, a gene clinic, and a corporate culture site for now. And then the same thing here, corporate culture site, and we're out of minerals. Okay. We'll buy in a few, a gene clinic, and finally, we would need a posthumous employment center here. There we go. Okay, so those are being worked on. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we might think about taking out the Calictoran protectors once and for all. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, James, Shadow Wolf, and Lohan80, Ro Corbett, Kentogan, Andy Magar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and everybody else. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.